Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick video. It's almost like Christmas here at the radio shop, but only in September. I ordered some parts from Mike's Radio Repair. If you haven't seen his channel, I'll leave a link down below. You can check it out. But he gave me a real good deal on some parts that we needed for our FT101. And as you can see, we got a whole assortment of plug-in modules for the 101. We got 4 of the chassis connectors, the rear accessory socket and plug. We have a complete crystal bank loaded with all the crystals, a RF choke. The one that's in the $10 101 is very black, and I don't really trust it. Now this one did have a crack in the bottom. I went ahead and put some tape around it, and I'll have to epoxy that up, but it won't be no problem. It'll be just as good as new. Have a complete set of knobs, main VFO knob, all the other knobs, and we have the sheet metal work that we needed. These are for the PA cage, and then the shield to go on the bottom of the PA cage. We also was able to get the upper cover, a very nice looking front bezel, and the bottom cover with the feet on it. So it looks like we got plenty of parts now to get back on our 101 series and start eliminating the rest of the other problems and troubleshooting. And we got enough stuff now to button the radio up and make it look very nice once we finish it. Now I haven't went through the crystal board yet. I think Mike said this stuff come off of a EE. So I'll need to go through the crystals and see what all crystals in it. A lot of times people will change out a crystal to change the band around, and I don't know, might be a set of, you never know if it's 10 meter crystals, 11 meter crystals in it. So I have to go through that and look it out and just see what's in there, and just pull that right out of the manual and check the frequencies. Now there was a surprise in all this package, and let me move it over here. So Mike knows how much I love test equipment, and the surprise that he sent was this. This is a B&K 177 vacuum tube voltmeter, and even came with the original probes. It's got the PR43 probe on it. Then you have your AC and ohms and DC right on the probe. The tip has been insulated. A piece of heat shrink keeps you from shorting out when you're testing these tube radios. That's very nice meter, and I went ahead and checked the calibration on it as I was playing around with it. And one of the trickiest parts on a vacuum tube voltmeter, is when you go to ohms, you set it for infinity, and you short the probe, and you should be on 0. And as you can see, this one is spot on without having to do any adjustment inside. And another thing about these tubes, this vacuum tube, you got to let it warm up. And once they warm up, you can set it and it'll be right on, just like it's supposed to be. There we go. So great big thank you to Mike for sending this in. I have one that's went bad on me a while ago. I was checking something and I don't know what quite happened, but the switch over here on this side went up in flames. I think the bait light was getting weak in it, and I already had an arc on it from my previous owner, and it flashed out and burned a big hole in the piece of bait light. I just ain't had time to fix it. So this will be a good replacement for this. Anyway, if you go on eBay and you start pricing out any of this stuff, it's just, you know, there's several $100s worth of parts here, parted out like this. Big thanks to Mike for helping us out with this and you know, giving us such a good deal. I really appreciate everything he's done and helped with. And also, Mike, if you're watching, there was one piece here I'm not sure if you meant to send this. It has like a magnet on one end and some type of jack on the other end. So you might want to look around, make sure that this just is getting picked up, and I need to stick this in an envelope and mail this back to you. It may be part of your testing stuff, so you know, I'm not quite sure, so let me know on that. 30 volt 3 amp. I also wanted to make note that the paint on the cabinet is it's beautiful. Don't have to do anything to this. Don't have to clean it or nothing. I mean, it's just beautiful. Even the handle looks good on it. You know, no rust on the handle mounts. Looks great. So, you know, someone might ask, you know, why did I only get 4 connectors? And most time when you get connectors for both, you know, to make extender cords, you only need 4 connectors. As you can see, there's 7 boards, but you don't need 7 connectors. You have 2 boards here that use the longest one. You have 3 boards here that use the next to the longest one. And there's only 1 board that uses the next to the smallest one, and only 1 board that uses the very smallest connector. So, you know, when you make up your extender cords, you don't need 7 extender cords. You only need the 4, because you're only going to you know, lift 1 board up at a time and put it in an extender cord. You ain't going to lift 2 of them up at a time, because you only want to check that 1 circuit, you know. So you only need 1 extender cord for that size, not 2. Same with this one, you only need 1 extender cord, not 3. So you know, that's why you only get, most of the time, anyone you buy from for a set of chassis connectors to make extender cords, you're only going to get 1 of each size. So here we're looking at an eBay ad for the FT101 extender board set, and you can see there's only 4 boards, 1 of each size. But you see the price of these things are $90 plus $8 shipping. And about every one I've checked on eBay, they'll run within $5 or $10 of that price. Right now this is about the cheapest set I saw when I was looking on eBay. And you know, they're kind of expensive, but you know, they do help a lot. But you know, as I showed in the last video, you can get away without, you know, just for servicing your own radio, you don't have to have a set of extender boards. I've been wanting a set of them because I work on a lot of these radios, so you know, it helps me. So anyway, you know, if you decide to pick up your connectors, I'll show you how to make these, and they're not very hard to do. You know, mainly all you need to do is look at the height of your original board, and all you want to do is the board is just clear out the top so you can get in there and work on it. So usually the thickness of the board, you know, the height of the board is about the size of what you could use your extender boards. Now, a lot of these you buy on eBay will stick the board, you know, way up here, and you know, I like to keep them as short as possible just to keep singles closer to the chassis instead of sticking, you know, way up here and singles radiating everywhere, you know. So take that into consideration. You know, I wouldn't go no more than an inch above what the standard board is. Now, you know, your RF board is a little different because it's such a short little board, and if you only made it the height of that, then your board is still going to be sitting way down here. So just go ahead and make it, you know, the same height of what the rest of your boards are going to be. That way when you get it up and you're working on it, the board will be up here so you can get to it. You know, when it comes to making your extender cards, you'll have to have the traces on the board, and you know, there's several different ways you can do it. Now, I've been etching circuit boards ever since I was 12 years old, using kits from Radio Shack like you saw in the last video. You know, this is an old board I etched many years ago for a KLM Multi 2700, which was a 2-meter transceiver with 10-meter downlink for the Oscar. That's back in, you know, the early days of Oscar. So that was a long time ago. You know, it worked on A07, you know. But anyway, you know, it's going to be several different methods. All you need to do is get your width of the board and get your traces marked. And you know, there's several different ways. You can use the resist pin, or you can buy it's a tape that you can put the tape on the board where you want to keep the copper at. You know, or you can use the resist pins, you know, however you want to do it. I'm going to try a technique I've never tried before on these. I'm actually going to cut the boards out, and I bought a new very thin blade for my table saw. I got a small table saw, so I'm actually going to set it up and cut the traces, and all it's going to do is just remove the copper off the board to you know, get your spacing and stuff right. So I'm going to give that a try, and then, you know, all you got to do is just solder the connector onto the other end of the board right on the edge. So you know, I'm gonna try that. That'll be the first time I've done anything like that. Etching's fine, nothing wrong with etching. You know, it just takes a little while for it to work in the solution, especially if, you know, if you can get the etching a little warm and get it circulating, it'll etch a whole lot quicker. And I got plenty of bottles of etchant, but I want to try something different that I haven't never used. And Mike made that suggestion on reply of one of the videos I put on, so I want to try that and see how it works. I got plenty of copper board to try it on, so we'll see. Now, one other tip that I will share with you, I don't like to do, and I don't really like to see it done, but I have seen guys take one of the boards and remove all the components off of it, and then take the socket and glue it to the board like so. And I'll show you what it kind of looks like. There is a picture here I can show. This is an idea of what it looks like. Now, it's not pretty, but it does work, and it keeps you from having to make the circuit board itself by using, you know, boards that are bad. Again, you know, I don't like doing it like that, and I would suggest not doing it, but you can do it like this in a pinch. So again, we have some parts that we can start working with, and we should be able to get an old $10 eBay find up and running and make it a pretty decent looking radio. And another big thanks to Mike for supplying the parts that he has, and especially for the gift that he sent. This is wonderful. It will be used, you can believe that. You know, I'm setting up the bench with the ICO stuff on it, so my ICO vacuum tube voltmeter that was sent in will go with the ICO equipment on the other bench. But I'm going to put this one here on this bench. Now I've already had, you know, several multimeters. I got the 2 flukes over there, and I got my Klein digital. So I'll have another good vacuum tube voltmeter to use over here on this bench. And one day we'll eventually get back to the 8520 and get it up and running. But you know, that's more of a lab grade type of meter, so it'll be used mostly in experiments and checking stuff where we really need to get down to a known value of resistor. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below, and we'll drop in a few links down below also. Until then, we'll see you next time.